Hey guys and girls, welcome back to another beautiful video on this beautiful channel, on this beautiful day. How you guys and girls doing? Hopefully you're doing great as always. Please check out the description box for all the nice links. Also drop a like, subscribe if you like the content. Check out Discord as well, my support page, all that stuff. So here we are. We're gonna keep working on this game. Now I just want to say again before we start this off, if you're really new to programming, this won't be really good for you. If you have done programming, if you know how to work with classes and variables and stuff, it will be easy for you to relate what I'm doing. If you've never seen any of this stuff, it will be pretty hard to follow along because it's going to go a little too fast. I just want to tell you that, and as sad as that is, it's good. It's a good way to still follow and kind of learn stuff as you go. But I would really recommend you to watch or read these tutorial things as you go on, because then you'll be able to make this game a lot better and you'll be able to understand everything. But I did explain all this stuff in the last video. In this video, we're going to create the game class. And like I said, the classes are contained in this namespace. So let's go ahead and right click this little package here and say add and a little class. And I need to see if I'm recording. Yep. Okay. Go ahead and just click class and rename this to game. And our game class is going to be kind of our game engine class. So this is going to contain all the game stuff that we need. And it's going to, yeah, you can access that there. Anyway, it's going to contain our player, our enemies, everything, and our states, basically. And then basically the states are going to contain stuff, but we'll get into that. That's way further off. But for now, just imagine this as a little blueprint for a house. So a house is a blueprint. There's a blueprint for a door, but a house contains a door and windows and flooring and everything. It's got a bunch of stuff. It's just a blueprint. It's not an object itself. The house blueprint is not the house itself. But if we want to create a house from a blueprint, the way you do it is you create a variable of that type. We're just going to call it game with a small g. It is case sensitive programming. I don't know how experienced you are, but you just need to know everything is case sensitive. So our game class starts with a big G, capital G. That's why we write the exact same thing here. That is the class name. And then this is a name we can give it. We can give it whatever we want, but we want it to be something logical. So game equals new game. Now, an important thing to note is that this is like Java, not like C++ where you have to do delete and stuff. This is like Java. It's running on top of a platform and it has a garbage collector, and it's going to collect all the crap that you're doing. And everything is basically a reference. Except for the standard classes like integers. There you don't have to do the new thing. But for your own classes and for other types of classes, string classes and stuff, you're going to have to do new. So I'm going to remove this, and we're calling the game constructor here. Now we need to define that. We don't have a constructor. So I'm going to comment in by doing 2 forward slashes. And I'm going to say constructors and destructors, so I know what I'm doing. And to create a constructor, we write public, the name of the class, and 2 parentheses, empty ones. If you want to add something in here, you can do that. Depends on how experienced you are. But we're going to start off with an empty one, and we're going to paste, whoops, I don't want to do that, console.writeLine hello from the game class. Very simple. We're just going to write something out whenever we create something. Now, a constructor is called when you create a new object of that type. So it's basically automatically called as soon as you create an object of game. If you had another class, you had a constructor to it, its constructor would be called when you created that type of object. So there we go. Let's just try to run this, and we should be able to see a new game class, hello from the game class. And basically that what happened, we created a new game item object, and it called this function, this constructor, and it printed that out. So that's good. Now our game class is going to be able to quit the game. It's going to be able to do a bunch of stuff. And all our main function is going to do is create the game and then run the game. So I'm going to say game.run. We don't have that function yet, but we're going to do that. To create that function, the way you do it is if you want a public function, a function that can be accessed in any other place wherever you have the same namespace. For example, like this, in main, you write public. If you want it to be private within the class, so you can't access it outside, only inside, you write private. If you want it to be accessed with inheritance, within inheritance but not outside, then you write protected. So you have these three things that you can do. But we're going to do a public void. That's the return type. Do I have something to return out of the function or do I not? And we'll touch on all of this stuff as we go along. But just write void for now. And let's say run. And we'll do that. Okay. And that is our run function. Now it does want it to be uppercase as a function name should be in this case. We'll do that. I'm used to the lowercase from C++, but we'll do that. Follow the standards here. Anyway, let's say we want the game to keep running until a certain thing happens. And I'm going to create a variable here called a boolean, or we can just write bool end. It's a very simple little thing. And we're going to have private functions. And here we're going to create something that will initialize all my variables. So variables are going to be things we can use within the class that will help us out. But we want to initialize them to a start value from the beginning. Now you could say 20 here. Pretty sure you can do that. No, you can't. Good. That's a good thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to do private void init variables. Init variables. And this is just going to initialize our stuff. End equals false. So what that says is the value of this variable will be false from the beginning. We could do that directly in the constructor, but this kind of divides things up and makes it a little better for us. The more we divide stuff up, the nicer it's going to be. The reason I use this, you don't have to, but you'll see later, this is very important. Now, it will say it can be simplified, but using this and getting a habit of that is very important. In C#, it's not like C++ where you use the arrow operator. You use a dot. Since, yeah, it's a reference, it's a little different from a pointer. So use the dot and false. If I were to have a local variable, bool end in here, it will be weird because I have one end that is part of the class and one end that is local. It has the same name. So if I do this, end equals false, it would use the local one and not the game's member variable. That's why this is very important to note or to tell the computer that I'm trying to use the class's real variable, not any local one that might have the same name. So you want to use this as often as you can, even if you don't have local variables. It's a good habit to have, I'd say. Now, a very important thing is to call this function, because otherwise these variables won't be set. So you want to make sure you do that. And we can keep that if we want. The run, what this is going to do is going to use a while loop. Now, a while loop is something that is very self-explanatory. While something, some condition, keep doing this in a loop, on and on and on and on. All right, anything within this scope, just keep going in here until this condition is false. Then you jump out. Okay, so I'm going to do a little write line outside of the while loop at the end of a run. And I'm going to say ending game. Okay. And in here, in the while loop, we're going to make sure that this end, while this end equals false, we'll keep doing this. So we'll keep staying in here, won't go out of here. We could do print line out here if we wanted to, but that'll kind of crash the whole thing. But so we're not going to do that right now. But as soon as end game is false, end game is true, it will cut out. So how do we do that? Well, we can actually do something in here. Write a number. Okay, it's going to ask me for a number. And then we're going to store that number from the keyboard into a variable. So number equals convert to int32 console.readline. Now let me just explain this before we go on. Don't worry too much. Don't freak out here. I'm creating an integer number, just an integer, which is going to hold something that is read from the keyboard, and then that is converted to an integer. Now this is the way you read integers from your keyboard. You just don't do cin like in C++. You have to get the line, then you have to convert it to whatever you want, whatever this is, and then you put that in there. Okay, so now if I input wrong stuff, this is going to crash. So you want to make sure you input a number. And we're going to make sure we get all this error handling and stuff later on. But for now, just remember, enter numbers. Don't enter any decimals or weird symbols or characters. It's going to crash. Anyway, we'll get that number. Once that number is gotten, I want to check if number is less than 0, this.end equals true. So that's going to end the game. Okay. Otherwise, if we're not trying to end the game, else console.writeLine, you inputted number. So there you go. Now, this is the way you can combine strings and numbers and everything using commas like that. There are different ways as well, but this is an easy way to do it with commas. And this is just an if statement, checking if the number is less than 0. So if I write something that is less than 0 now, it's going to quit the game. So write a number, 20, 30, 40. Now it's not actually printing that number out because I need to do a I there, I think. 20. No, that wasn't it. Let's see. Plus number. Yeah, that plus number should do it. There you go. Sorry about that. 20, 30. Oh, I inputted a wrong character. There you go. That's an example of a crash. You don't want to add pluses or anything. So let's just 10. Okay, now let's say 0 minus 1 ending the game. All right. Very simple. A very simple way to quit the game, basically. So this is a start of our game, and it will keep running in this as long as you call this and don't forget it. It will keep running in a loop within here because we do have a while loop in that function. Keep running here. So it's a very simple start of game. In the next video, we're gonna actually start off by making a character class maybe and a state class, and it'll be a bunch of stuff coming, and you'll learn as you go along. Try to read about all the different things here that we've done. Try to understand those things as well as you can. I will too recap on all of those, and then I'll see you guys and girls in the next one. All right, thank you.